Welcome. Thank you for joining me here today at the Author Fair presented by the Rochester Hills Public Library. I want to share with you today a short reading from my book, The Mystical Ark, A Vessel of Blessings, a high-action spiritual adventure story centered on the mystical experience of four members of an archaeological team. An experience that ultimately leads them through a series of life-changing events. The story of the Mystical Ark had been on my heart for nearly 20 years, and then it finally came to fruition as a novel after a very vivid dream, which became ultimately the opening scene. And the following is a condensed version of that opening scene. There it was. The prize now sat before them in a hidden chamber of the dimly illumined desert cave to which they had escaped. They were hot, dirty, exhausted, and frightened. Most of their research team had perished the night before. Now they encircled the thing in silent wonder. A box, really, made of some unearthly gold-like material covered with ancient dust, held their undivided attention. Metal loops, nearly worn away by time and use, hung from its sides. The remains of angelic figures that had long since lost their wings and their brilliant, shiny surface still clung to its top. Visibly weary, Paul staggered toward the ancient treasure. He stretched his hand toward it, then drew it back again. He tried again, but it seemed to be emanating a powerful energy that could not be penetrated. He backed away now and leaned against the cave wall, still staring at the box. Josh timidly reached toward the golden receptacle. He too jerked his hand away, dark eyes widening as he stared from his hand to the box and back again in disbelief. Zach adjusted the portable lights to get a better look. His thick brown hair fell unkempt over his eyes, and his usually crisp clothing was rumpled and spattered with blood. He extended his hand confidently toward the box, but then quickly snapped it back again. A strange invisible energy field surrounded the artifact, repelling any attempt to touch it. Then, shirt torn, chestnut hair in hopeless, dampened tangles, Elena pulled herself to her feet and reached out to run her fingers across the strange substance. She felt only a tingling sensation, then a smooth, surprisingly warm veneer. Her fingers searched the top for an opening. There were no hinges, no seams, no space that divided top from bottom. Her hand moved slowly around until she felt a spark, a surge, like a phantom cell phone buzz. She tried to pull her hand away, but to no avail. An electric wave of energy flooded her entire body, knocking her off her feet. Then suddenly, but delicately, like a flower blooming in time-lapse photography, the top of the box began to move. It rippled and undulated. It began to wrinkle and spread apart, reminding Elena of the parting of the sea in the Charlton Heston version of the Ten Commandments. It was open, and from it sprang forth bursts of light in radiating swirls that spiraled toward the top of the cave and gently fell like long-awaited rain upon their weary, sunburned shoulders. As particles of light fell upon them, they felt an energy vibrating through them as if the very cells of their body were coming apart and joining in the spiraling dance of light. Then they felt the particles condensing, creating a forceful pulling sensation. They watched in utter amazement. They had found it, the Ark of the Covenant, the most sought-after artifact of all time. It was open, and it was pulling them inexplicably through its now transparent sides. The rest of the story follows the team into the mystical ark, into the realm of the mystical, and follows their experience, and then follows them back to their everyday lives where they face both grave danger and personal transformation. If you enjoy a thought-provoking, suspenseful mystery with just a little touch of romance, and you're open to a book that Publishers Weekly calls religious speculative fiction, or as I would put it, speculative spiritual fiction, you'll love The Mystical Ark. You can learn more about the book at themysticalark.com or on my website, eileenpatra.com, where you can order the book from a variety of retailers or order a signed copy directly from me. Thanks again for joining me today, and enjoy the author fair.